Hey, Mez.
Yes, Fons.
Did you know that we are on socials under the original Midlifers? You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. We're also on YouTube.
Oh, yes. And I've got a lot of good stuff, so please come along. Don't miss out on our humour. We're so funny.
So funny. And also, if you are listening to our podcast, just give us a quick like and a follow and make sure you're on the ball with us.
I like being on the ball.
Or two. On with the show.
Wax on, wax off.
Cigarettes.
Excellent.
Hello and welcome, Midlifers. We are your hosts, Fons.
And Liz.
And this is our weekly podcast where it's not self-help but more help yourself to a smorgasbord of nostalgia, laughter and a deep dive into the past.
Fons, we're starting this week's episode with Then and Now. We're looking at smoking, how it was back then compared to these days. We're ranting or raving, recycling, good but bad at the same time. And who did a better battle this week? We're talking about fast cars and fast movies of the 80s and 90s. We're doing Speed with Keanu Reeves versus Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise.
Let's jump in. Got a pain in your back
That stops you in your tracks.
when you think your outfit's
But
gold.
your kid just thinks you're old. It's a midlife moment.
Oh, Miz, I'm so embarrassed.
Oh,
I have a midlifer moment for you.
okay.
You know those moments where you just lack sleep and you just on autopilot.
Yeah.
So I went to the shopping centre and it's got boom gates to get out.
Yeah.
And without knowing it, I tailgated someone and went through their boom gate. And the only reason why I realised was because the boom gate went to slam on top of my car and bounced back up. And I was like, I just did something illegal, and I felt terrible.
You feel bad.
But then I felt bad to the bone.
You're a bad girl, Fons, going through the boom gate. Did that when it bounced off the car? Was it just like, oh yeah? Did that wake you up?
It didn't actually touch the car. Must have sensors, but
okay.
it just I just saw it go down. Like, oh god! And then it went back up again. Like, oh, they've got that on camera.
That would have woken you up at least.
It sure did. I hope I never do that again.
Fons, we're looking at smoking in our Then and Now segment this week, and growing up in the 80s, smoking was everywhere.
Yeah, it was.
It was literally everywhere, and in our houses, and
In the car.
in the car. Then we started partying in the clubs, in the restaurants. It was everywhere. Not only in real life, but thinking movies,
Yes.
advertising.
TV advertisements.
Yes, the
print.
sponsorships for sporting events.
Even the Olympics had a sponsorship from Marlboro.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Isn't that like the worst
I know.
combination?
But apparently smoking made you healthier back then, or in the 50s even.
And so we're going to start off with then.
Yeah.
We always do this. We always start saying hold your horses. And then we're going to look at how that sort of was phased out and I would say replaced by vaping and that sort of thing. So, okay, let's go back to the beginning.
Miz, did you know smoking began as chewing tobacco?
Always like you do the research on the things. I'm just like pulling things from my memory and you're like, did you know? Okay, no, I didn't know that.
I don't want to try it.
With
I
the
don't think-
spittoon?
The spittoon. In a bar, one of those bars, American bars with the nuts.
Yeah.
They throw the nuts on the floor and they spit their
yeah.
chewing tobacco. Sounds like fun though.
Yum.
Get your shoes all grotty and have a party with us. Anyway, that was then. What else? But like you said, like our parents smoked everywhere.
Yeah. I remember having visitors in the house because we weren't like a full-time smokers. We were more social smokers. So then we'd have our uncles and stuff come over and the smell would permeate in the house. But I wanted to be a smoker from when I was like in grade prep.
Me too.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
And I remember going on a trip to Croatia when I was in grade 1. This is so disgusting. Me and this girl that I made friends with would go around and collect people's cigarette butts and pretend to smoke them.
I did that too.
I guess it's me.
No. My parents used to leave their butts
Yeah.
in the backyard. I used to pick them up and smoke them while riding on my trike.
What was that about? I suppose emulating
Monkey
our
see,
parents.
monkey do.
Yeah.
So I remember.
Oh,
I
that makes
remember
me
my
feel
first
so much
taste of
better.
cigarette.
Okay.
Nah, I reckon everyone did. If you had a smoke off a butt that was on the floor when you were a kid, let us know. Were you gross like us?
I know it sounds so gross now. But yeah, but it was around everywhere, as I said, in sporting sponsorships. And I remember movies. Like movies, you're so cool. with your having a cigarette.
Had such an air of coolness
Yes,
to it, and
yeah.
still does now. And I say that like looking back and watching Reality Bites.
I had Reality Bites. They did not stop smoking in that movie.
And I watched a little bit of it now, and it's like, God, that was a time, and it did. Why does it look cool?
I don't know.
Why?
It just does.
Winona Ryder and Ethan Hawke just puffing away, and
Yeah.
this looks so chilled,
Yeah. Very
so
cool.
grunge, and
Maybe because we weren't cool, like we thought that would
I
make
wasn't
us cool.
No.
I don't
Oh,
know.
because we weren't cool.
Yeah.
I thought you said because we were. I'm like, we weren't cool.
No, we weren't.
We were
Never say such a thing.
we were clutching at straws, taking up smoking to look cool. Well, did it work? No.
No, it didn't. And I remember, yes, so when we started clubbing and that sort of thing, you know, it would have Ciggies, and then the next day the smell of it.
Oh, the head. I used to wake up with a headache. I remember wake up and my sinuses were so sore.
Oh, okay.
From the cigarette smoke. Ugh.
Smelling in your clothes.
But I remember the difference of when they stopped smoking in clubs.
Yes.
And no smelling.
oh, it's fresh.
No, it was
I
so
do appreciate
good.
the freshness of that.
Yeah, I remember Sizzler, and they had the smokers and non-smokers section, and we obviously go as a family. I remember it was like we were at this table,
Yes.
at one table on
One
the
booth,
right,
yep.
and the table on the left was smoking.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
There was no difference at all.
But thinking about that, like at Sizzler, and if you were smoking, like would you just leave your cigarette go before going to the buffet, or would you finish it off and then go to the buffet?
Go for round two. Come back
Get
for
your
it.
potato
Yeah.
skins, come back and finish off your cheese bread and a ciggy.
And even like, remember like how they have the lollies that were the fags?
Fags.
Yeah, which are fads now.
Yes.
Shaped as cigarettes.
Yeah.
So this shows that we
It was
kids would
part of our
emulate
culture.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
As
And they
part of
tasted
our
nice,
generation.
those
They were
ones.
lovely. What were they?
Musky. Yes. Yummy.
But you know, actually thinking back to the movies of the 50s, sorry, I'm going right back then. And I just remember Clark Gable having a smoke during Gone with the Wind,
Oh, okay.
and James Dean.
Yeah.
And-
Oh, yes, James Dean.
Oof.
Yes,
Those,
yeah.
It was so rebellious
Yeah,
to have
yeah.
a smoke. And
And it just hanging
Yeah.
off the lip.
yeah, and it's like there's a way to hold it as well. If you're really rebellious, you just like you hold it between your thumb and your index finger, and just
Yeah.
so.
I could
Naughty.
never master the thing of talking with having it hanging on it.
You do dribbling and
Pull it out. And I remember sometimes I'd try to do that and then take it off and a bit of your
it
lip would get
stick.
stuck.
yes.
But
But now,
well, do you remember when the vapes first started coming in and how they said, okay, if you want to taper off smoking,
Yeah.
have a vape, it's healthier.
well, I used to
Both of
do
us.
shisha, which is like the
Oh, yeah.
Middle
I've
Eastern.
never tried that.
Oh, it's great. I used to love it. But like I wasn't smoking at the time, but when you do shisha or agile, you're smoking like 50 cigarettes at once.
Oh, really? Ah.
It's so fun. But like you could choose your flavor like apple, grape.
So is that
And-
almost like vaping?
No, but it's like basically a big bong.
Yeah.
And you all like you
is
get
it nicotine in it? That's
I think yeah, there's nicotine.
okay.
And you all get a pipe.
Yeah.
And you'll puff or you share a pipe and you puff one at a time on the pipe. And it's like a social thing to have with your tea or coffee.
But what's the difference between that and like vaping?
Well, this was before vaping, so it's like a big
Yes, I know
thing.
the
So
contraction.
it's social.
okay.
But I think
but health wise, I'm curious.
it's shit.
Okay.
Because
it looks
again,
it looks so. Oh,
it's so exotic.
Yes. Well, it's interesting because, as I said, I do remember when they came in and they'd be like, okay, if you want to taper off cigarettes, do the vapes. And now I realise, okay, they're just as bad. I don't know if they're worse or not. But my sister-in-law, she recently gave up vaping and had given up smoking. And she said vaping is so much harder to give up.
Really?
Because you do it everywhere. You don't even realise, just have a few puffs here, a few puffs there. Whereas cigarette, you would have to stop, go
Yes.
outside. Whereas this you can do, anywhere. And obviously doesn't have that lingering smell in their house. And so she said for her, giving up vaping was harder than giving up smoking. So I'm like, oh God.
Just don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it,
Don't
kids.
do it.
Although
Yeah.
I do still enjoy a cigarette every now and then.
Do you know how much a packet of cigarettes cost nowadays?
I'm going to say 40
$40.
That's crazy.
$40 for a pack of 20.
I remember for 20.
I'm sure
geez.
it's 20 or maybe it's 32, but either way, $40.
I remember probably be about 15 or so, 15 or 17 bucks for a pack of Winnie Blues.
God,
I
how
still
good's a
like it.
menthol?
Yeah, menthol, so fresh. Nicotine
Can I tell you a story about menthols? This is when I was single and I was smoking more often. I really hope my parents aren't listening to this. The shame. But
I could just say, I knew this would come up. And like, how is it we're 40-year-old women and still like,
mummy and
Mum.
daddy.
Your mum doesn't listen, so it's all right.
Yeah, I know. She doesn't know how to. I don't think Dad will either. But anyway, I hope not. Sorry, Dad. But yeah, so when I was single in my 30s, I was smoking menthols and I was having a smoke while having a coffee at a cafe, and the guy comes on and goes, "Oh, can I have a smoke?" I go, "Listen, it's menthol." He goes, "No, don't worry about it."
That's good.
So, yeah.
I remember back in the clubs, like how we would, it was a great pickup line.
It was an icebreaker.
It was a great icebreaker, but now it'd be like, it's $2, mate. I remember a story that you told me. So this must have been before vapes became a big thing, that you went to a concert, like a DJ.
We went to see Avicii.
Okay, yeah.
And there was a group of us older people.
Yes.
We were in our 30s, and this guy was standing with us, and he was having a smoke. And this young girl turned around at him and she goes, "Ew, gross, who smokes?" And we're like, we do. Like, we were in solidarity to protect this guy.
Yeah.
But it was a serious generation gap even at a gig.
Yes, I remember that. So that came to the forefront. But now it'll be different because they'll be there puffing away with their raspberry lolly.
But then people now at concerts have smokes of joints, like sneaky smokes of joints. No one complains at that. No, they're like, trying to get the passive smoke.
Give me some.
Rant, rave,
Rant or rave.
Yeah. All right, recycling. This is what we're going to rant and or rave about. Can I just say one thing I can rave about recycling? The Visi cans. The Visi, what is it called? A disposal system where you get 10 cents for the cans you collect.
Yep.
And I always say, better in my pocket than theirs, Mez.
Yeah, Fonz. Yeah, you tell them.
So our garage is full of cans.
Mine is too. I was going to say, I've never actually gone there. We've just collected. I've got about 4 bags that have been there since last summer. Anyway.
Well, we go there once every blue moon to do our cans, and we're lucky because the grandparents drop off bags of cans for the kids. And anyway, my son told a lie at school, and pretending he couldn't see properly. He was like, I'm blind. So I took him to the doctor, paid $70, and turns out he was lying. He admitted in the car afterwards. So I'm using those cans as payback for me. So I had some free time last week, and I went to the can disposal, and I did about 4 to 6 bags, and I got $30 out of it.
That's cool.
It's great.
How long did that take you?
1 hour. And the lady at the
$30 an hour is not bad.
Yeah, the lady at Coles goes, "Oh, that's great." And I go, "Better in my pocket than theirs."
Yes, fun.
So now my husband's parents have dropped off another few bags. Like, God damn it.
Because I've got the bags right in front of where I park my car, and they're sort of like falling all over the place. And we had a cockroach problem last summer, and I'm really hoping there's no cockroaches. Yeah.
Chuck the cans out.
I've got to get rid of it. My son's like, when are we going to do it? But our local one on the weekend, always see lines of people. So it's like, I've got to do it at a time where it's not busy. It's on my list of 102 things to do. So we'll get done. So for me, yes, that's a rave, but the rant about it is the effort and the time and the mess it creates in the interim.
Oh, and just the thought, like when there's a bit of wind in the garage. And
you
it's
just
oh, like, God, shut up. Bloody cans.
Obviously the rave about it is good for the environment. Yeah.
I don't think about the environment, but the money. Are you talking about recycling or the cans?
No, recycling in general.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
While Taylor Swift goes around in a private jet over and over, and here we are with our cans and anyway.
Okay.
Excuse me.
On the tangent. Strong feelings there.
I do have strong feelings.
Yeah, so it's the whole thing. Like, obviously, we know we need to do better for the environment, but it's I get annoyed that it's down to us trying to do all this, and because we've got 4 recycling bins, we've got 4 bin system at home. So we've got purple for glass, yellow for cardboards, green for green waste, which is that one that I think is fantastic.
Yeah, I like
that one.
the green
I really
waste.
like, and then the normal rubbish bin. So I will, sort through everything. I've got 2 bins in my house. 3 inside, and then glass ones are. I'll go carry everything. It's like I'm bloody playing Tetris. And my husband, if I ask him to do it, he'll just dump everything into the one bin, then I've got to open it up.
Oh, no.
Yes, it's really annoying. I say to my husband, you are affecting our future generations, and he doesn't give a shit, and it's very annoying. So
There's a lot of skepticism with recycling because
about
like,
whether it ends up in the right spot.
whether it ends up in the right spot.
I believe.
Also,
I believe.
well,
I have to.
I'm choosing to believe.
Yeah, I'm choosing to believe. Yeah.
But also we're the little people and we're recycling and that, and then you hear of big corporations that use a lot of water and use a lot of pollution and that. And are we really
Making a difference?
Yes, and that's what I wonder. And I'll continue, but
Yeah, I feel the same. We're doing all this, going to all this effort, but then like, even if when you go to the shops, everything is packaged in plastic and stuff. So even no matter what I do, I've still got all this plastic left over from the shops. So.
And that red cycle with the plastic
bags?
Yeah,
no?
it was the packaging. Packaging. So you can take it back to the supermarket and they'll take it to red cycle. That shut down.
That did shut down. That was great because
It wasn't working.
It wasn't because there's so much.
Yes.
But it was great for me because then I'll be like, okay, all this plastic that I buy, at least it's going somewhere. But it didn't.
It went to a warehouse
Yes, it's
and
sitting
it's
there
still there.
So it goes back to the packaging in the first place. Do something about it. But on that note, what I will also rant about is how things have changed from plastic to wooden. I hate the wooden cutlery, the wooden disposal cutlery.
Right.
It has this flavour, yes, and the paper straws that disintegrate.
Oh, the paper straws are terrible.
They are terrible.
And I don't like metal straws. Use your own metal straws because there was a woman in the UK, she tripped over while having a metal straw and killed herself.
Oh.
It impaled her. And I was like, no one is using a metal straw in this house. Banned. My children are allowed metal straws for the rest of their lives. Okay. Because, remember that keep cups. Remember keep cups? And that kind of went out since COVID.
For coffees and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll only use my keep cup for if I'm doing the kids' sports and bring my own coffee. I'll do it, but I'll never take it to an actual cafe to do it because, I don't know.
I don't want to give germs. I mean, I always bring something clean, but I don't want to,
I see people do it. Like they do.
Do they still do it?
They do still do it. So I think it has come back over COVID, but it's like, I couldn't bother bringing my cup. Just give me a disposable.
Yeah. There was an etiquette expert, William Hanson, and he said that people who drink out of takeaway cups are common.
Well,
and I was like, well,
I never said I was anything but common. So cool. What are the fancy people in Turek drinking out of?
I don't know.
that would be taken.
Maybe he was more like just drink it in the cafe, not walk around. But
yeah, sorry, got things to do, buddy.
Excuse me.
Another one which I do not like the whole thing of fast fashion and how much, if you read articles about it, the landfill, how much clothing and stuff is excess there is because of the fast fashion.
I didn't even think of fast fashion.
Yes, because I've seen a few articles and it's horrible because there's so much clothes going to landfill and they're trying to think of solutions. So I do know that H&M have clothes recycling, which I've taken. My mum took her old curtains there.
Oh.
Yeah. Any material that you can't get, like, you try to donate old clothes, but there's some that are just shabby and crap.
Yeah.
Take them to H&M because you actually get a store credit for it too.
I did not know this.
Yes. So I don't have one near me. That's the only thing. Like, but that's a good one.
That's a very good idea.
So at least you get a bit of incentive for it. So yeah, there's a good one.
That's a great tip, miss.
Yes, thank you.
Very good. Oh, do you know what kills me?
Yes.
Oh,
No,
the bloody paper bags, Mez, that we get from the supermarket or deliveries.
I see. You know what? I felt shame because I realised we've talked about this. I can't remember which episode, that you don't go to the grocery store, you get everything delivered, and you have no option but to get the bags. They used to give you the option. Yeah. Now it's not. There's a charge 15 cents a bag, and when we come here, you have bags.
I have so many bags
galore, and I actually had to buy some bags at the other day, and I was thought of you and thought, oh no, shame. Pons would shame me for this.
Oh my God, I could give you bags because like we had a few people comment in our Instagram. Sam was saying just chuck it in the recycle bin, and because I reckon I had 200 paper bags. I chucked out 100 of them because I'm like, I'm done with hoarding these bags, and I'm getting deliveries every fortnight.
Yeah.
Anyway, rant or rave, Mez. Recycling. What is it?
Okay. I find it annoying, but I must do my duty as a citizen of this earth to fulfill Mez reporting for her duty, so I must rave it.
If it works, I rave it.
Yeah.
And I'm erring on the side that the council is doing the right thing by us and recycling what we do. I rave it. And I rave bloody the Vizzy. 10 cents. $30 for an hour. Who did it better battle? Ding, ding.
It's the thing, Fonz.
Here's the thing, Mez. Who did it better? Speed, a movie released in 1994, or Days...
You're factual. Fonz is on the ball this week.
I am. Or Days of Thunder, a 1990 movie. From the 1900s.
Only 4 years apart.
I always thought Days of Thunder was an 80s movie,
Yeah, me
but it's
too.
actually 90s.
It's right on the cusp. There you go.
Yeah, made it.
Shall we start with our leading men?
Okay.
Yes.
Who did it better? Keanu? Oh, God, he was gorgeous.
He was good, and especially in this movie.
Oh, God.
Because he wasn't as dopey in this movie.
No.
Because before that, I think Bill and Ted's
Yes.
Excellent Adventure, that's where we sort of knew him.
Awesome, tubular. And here is
69.
this. And here he was this police officer that just took charge. My God, he was gorgeous.
Yeah, he was very
Oh.
gorgeous in this.
We were in year 8 when Speed came out.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember buying our friend Erin for her birthday a poster of Keanu and with his bare bum.
Oh, yes.
Remember that? That was a standard Keanu photo.
I hope I have it because I want to put it on socials. Went to that Ripley's Believe It or Not, and I had a cutout of Keanu and got from Speed and me, like in my year 8 thing, putting my arm around him.
So you pretty much met him.
I didn't meet him.
Oh,
yeah.
God, he's gorgeous. He was so handsome in Speed. My God.
Yeah. So got him.
Yep.
Right.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Cool down.
Yes. Calm down, Keanu.
And then we have
Tom Cruise.
who played
Cole Trickle.
Trickle. I keep saying Cole Tickle. Cole Trickle.
Yeah, Tom Cruise is not obviously to me hot, but he's very charismatic in his roles.
He's got riz.
He does have riz, and he's a great actor. I do love him.
He's
in
very
movies.
passionate, isn't
Oh, yeah,
he?
he's
he
full
puts,
on.
Yeah, he puts all in.
Put your manners back in. I feel like he'd be one of those people. Like if you met him in real life, you'd feel like it'd drain your energy. Like afterwards, you'd be like, "Whew, that was."
You don't think his energy would rub off on you and you'd feel hyped up with him?
Oh, I'd feel like you would have to meet that energy.
Yeah.
and then by the end, you're like depleted.
How did Oprah feel when he jumped on the couch? Was she depleted? I got to watch that back.
That was so good. All right, so you've got him and Cole Trickle, obviously it's all about him trying to succeed in the rally Daytona.
NASCAR.
Daytona, yep, that sort of thing.
Yep.
I feel like for leading men, they both compete evenly for me.
For you, I think looks-wise, Keanu bloody did it better thanks to his genetics. Tom Cruise, he's great. I think his personality now turns me off, but I just love his gusto.
Yes, yeah. See, I find Tom Cruise, because his personality in real life has turned me off, but I still love his
Yes.
movies. I find I can escape his personality in movies.
Yes, actually,
He's so good.
and that's a sign of a great actor,
Yes,
isn't it?
he's a great
You forget
actor.
his personality because I liked the new the new Top Gun
Yes.
and the Last Samurai. God, he was good in that.
I've never watched
Oh,
that.
it's so good.
I have to watch
Watch
it
it.
because
Yeah.
everyone that's seen it said it's fantastic.
It's so good. Watch it.
Okay.
So good. Okay, back.
Okay.
Pull it back.
So we should go the leading actresses then.
All right, go on.
Let's go. Let's start with Tom Cruise because he's got Nicole Kidman. So obviously, the chemistry here was fantastic because they're falling in love in real life.
It's hot.
And this is when she had her curly. I loved her curly hair.
Oh, her flame-coloured hair.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a symbol of a red light for a car. And I'll go into that later.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm intrigued by this.
Yes.
analogy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
then, then there was Annie, Sandra Bullock. And that's what catapulted her into the movie world.
Because I do remember though, but her other role out before this, where I first saw her, was Demolition Man with Wesley Snipes.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
And Sylvester Stallone, and she was really good in that.
Was she?
Yeah, she was good in it.
I never watched it.
Yeah, she's great.
She is great.
But yes, this movie was her big shot to stardom, I reckon.
And did it slingshot her to the stardom. She was awesome in it.
Just realizing Sandra Bullock and you got Nicole Kidman, and then they're together in Practical Magic, which there's going to be another Practical Magic that's really good.
Oh, yes, the sisterhood.
Yes. So do you like action movies?
I won't choose to watch one, but when I do, I bloody love them.
yeah,
I
yeah.
really love them.
Yeah, I'm the same. It's sort of like my husband will be like, and then I'll sometimes begrudgingly watch, but yes, I do love it.
Yes.
So like I do like the car scenes and obviously the car races in Days of Thunder are fantastic. And the crash and everything that happens, and then obviously at the end when he's going to win. But then you think of in Speed when they're trying to tell him that there's a bomb on the bus and then Sandra Bullock's like ignoring him. And
but there's comedy in it as well. The comedy element was I never forget when Keanu had to jump on the bus.
Yes, yeah.
And he like carjacked someone. And he's like, have you got insurance? The guy goes, yes. And he rips the car door off and he jumps on the bus and the guy just gives up. He's like, whatever. But God, he was so handsome. But I was going to say the suspense, but one thing about that stuck with me with Days of Thunder was when the cars would go like rub against each other.
Oh, yeah.
And you hear the word rubbing a lot. And so Tom Cruise got rubbed a lot in his movie. Just kept rubbing each other till the end. But do you know what? I did not like how in Days of Thunder they called Nicole Kidman's character a brain doctor. She's a neurosurgeon.
Well, do they actually use the word brain
They
doctor?
use brain doctor. I'm sure I watched it and they said
She's
brain
a brain
doctor.
doctor.
And the thing that like when Tom Cruise or his character Cole first met her as a neurosurgeon, he thought she was a stripper.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's the only thing that can be gotten away in the 90s or the early
Where he put
90s.
her
So
hands.
cringe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
He put her hand down there
Yes.
for a tickle, a cold tickle.
A cold tickle. Yes.
And that was bad. I thought that was bad. And what about when they wheelchair race?
Yeah, I like that bit. That
Down.
I love that bit. Where it's just like the male egos just got to get in there. Like, I'll beat you, man. Beat you. But I love Speed. Like talking about the suspense, and I like the cop thing where you've got the villain there.
Yeah.
There's a bomb on the bus. What do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do? And then he's watching it through the CCTV and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, it's the twist.
What's your red light hair thing?
Oh, yeah. So Nicole Kidman acts as the red light in the movie. So she stops Cole Trickle.
Yeah.
So she stops Cole Trickle from doing those egomaniac, risky moves. And I thought with her flamey red hair, she's the red light that is able to put him in control. Whereas no one else could control him.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that's my thing. She likes it. She took charge, and I liked that.
Yeah.
Put him in line. Can I give you another fact?
Yes.
Did you know before Keanu was chosen for Speed, they asked Tom Cruise, and he passed it up.
Really?
Mhm.
Ah.
Yeah. So imagine that
would
would
have
have been
different.
well, yeah, it would have been.
Serious.
It's going 50. What are you gonna do?
Yes. Too much gusto. Too much gusto in that role.
So Mez, who did it better, the rubbing or the bomb?
I could watch both on repeat, and I have watched both on repeat a lot. So it's a tie for me. I like them. I love them both.
I think for me,
I know who you're going.
Keanu, I love Speed. Speed did it better for the humour. The 3 different plot parts of the elevator, the bus, and the train. Wheels, was it planes, trains, and automobiles? And it had humour in it, and it was just on the money from the start. So for me, it was Speed.
Well done. Well done, Speed. Good on you, Keanu.
Keep
it up.
rubbing. Here we go, Miz.
We had rubbing, we had recycling, we had smoking, we had it all. A rubber dub tub. Tom Cruise in a tub.
Pinocchio.
Oh, we hope you've had fun today.
We had a lot of fun today.
We did.
And we hope you joined us and had a laugh.
And haven't switched off. If you haven't, good on you.
5 stars.
We'll see you next week.
See you next week.